watch him step up as that leadership role. Sorry.
Excuse me, sir.
Him.
Will your brother be at the game?
I don't know.
Who does your mom love more, you or your brother?
Which one? I got 3 brothers.
Which one?
Got to do your research. Got to do your research. She has a new ranking. Oh, I'm sorry.
okay.
She has a new ranking every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I like the competition. It makes you more competitive and stuff like that. That's pretty cool to hear. Yeah. So where are you at right now? Since you're in the playoffs, you have to be number one.
It's usually whoever talked to her last. I haven't texted her in about a day or two, so I think.
So you're probably bottom of the barrel right now.
Slipping, but after this game, I'll start responding.
Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Good luck this weekend.
You too.
You know, I was doing an interview, and then you just jumped right in.
I think that was an important conversation. I think the fans really like that, just to know that information. So I learned something today.
You did?
Yeah.
There's more than one brother?
There's more than one.
Very good. You good?
Good?
Yes. I mean,
So, yeah.
So back to Terry for a second. Just the fact that he's able to produce like he is, but also is cognizant of everybody else and trying to pump them up.
Yeah, I think that's been so cool to just watch how he's grown so much as a leader. He's always been a leader, but to see him really take an investment in everyone. And I haven't been here the past year, so I'm sure he's always been like that. But it just seems like he's buying into the culture, the brotherhood, and everything. And as a young guy, when you see somebody doing that, it makes it so easy to just follow suit, right? Whenever I have to think about, hey, what should I do extra? What should I do that? I can just look at him and see what he's doing. So it makes my life a lot easier in that sense. But it's also just a lot of fun to have, a room with him and, a lot of other vets, whether it's OZ, Diomni, Crowder, all those guys, Chris Board, who's been here the last couple weeks, KJ, and not to list our whole room, but for real, they're all guys with a lot of experience and a lot of, joy playing this game. And so it's so cool to just be able to kind of build off that.
And as you get ready for your first playoff, your second playoff.
We could probably bail, but.
What are your thoughts as you head into this one in the dome where it's going to be loud?
Yeah, I think for us, again, it's the same thing as every other week. It's focus in on the details. It's do your assignments, execute at the highest level, and make the plays when they come. Hopefully you can have some explosives and kind of take what they give you in order to create that. But I think we're all excited, and it's another week of prep. It's one less day, so we got to shorten everything up a little bit and make sure we work a little extra harder throughout that time. But I'm excited. I can't wait.
Thanks, Luke. How crazy is it, rookie season, to now be playing this late into the year divisional round?
Yeah, for the first year, I kind of don't think about how long the season's been or anything. I just focus on the next week. But yeah, looking back, it's been pretty crazy. I'm excited and glad, to have this opportunity, and very thankful. A lot of guys don't get the chance to play in the playoffs, and do this in the first year is really amazing.
How you feeling? I know you had the big brace on. You've been beat up all throughout the year. Most linemen probably are. How do you feel going into the divisional round?
Yeah, nobody really feels great this part of the year. So this is about getting your body right, making sure that you're able to go on Saturday. That's kind of just what I've been doing, is kind of getting my body right, doing a lot of things that the vet's been telling me to do, and stay on top of things.
You've been in this building a long time. Never this late in the year in this building. What's it feel like to be a coach in the divisional round?
It's really cool, man. This is my first time I won a playoff game. Made it 4 times as a player. Was 0 for 4, unfortunately, and that one in particular was really cool because that was the scene of my last game I played. Of playoff loss when I was with Philly, so in Tampa. So it was really kind of in some ways a kind of a circular moment to kind of get to that point and come out on top with a win and allow us to keep this thing going. And because I don't think anybody was ready for it to be done, and we're having a lot of fun, and so hopefully we can keep it up.
What about the defensive performance against Tampa? Your group, the front 7, the back, everybody really came together to hold a Tampa team that was surging to 20 points.
Yeah, we did. We did we did some good things schematically, technique-wise, that really I feel like paid off in our offense too. Really controlling the ball. We only had 49 defensive snaps, so that's kudos and tip the hat to the offense for allowing us to do that, and great complimentary football allowed it to get done.
Did you notice how many Burgundy and Gold fans were in Tampa? Could you guys see that?
Yeah, we did. It started when we got there. When we arrived, we had a big applause when we got to the hotel, and people are excited, man. It's an exciting time. They can feel the same thing that we're feeling the excitement, the energy, and it's just cool. It's cool to be a part of right now, and like I said, hopefully we can keep it up because it's been a blast.
Obviously a huge challenge going to Detroit. What do you tell your guys just to maintain focus on this game and not the entirety of the divisional round and all the kind of stuff that surrounds it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a football game. Once the game starts, there's going to be a lot of build-up. There's a lot of excitement. It's a night game too, so that adds to the build-up and the excitement of it. But once the whistle blows, it's the guys between the white lines that are going to determine the outcome.
Last thing, I know what your family means to you. I don't know that you saw your wife's tweet on. Yeah. Maybe you did, but
did, yeah.
What did it? I mean, just for her to come out and to tell everybody what this thing meant for you, and to know what your kids, and just, I don't know. How special is all of this?
It's really cool because my kids really are getting football now. Like, my oldest is 5, and she really gets it. Like, we'll watch games, and she knows players, she knows teams. She's huge Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin fan, so she, I'm no longer the favorite player for her, but no, it's awesome because they're starting to get it, and they're getting, like, she has a little board at home where she writes, every, what win number we have. She, I got home the other day and she's like, Daddy, win 13 on the year. And it was so that's what's making it really special, is that my kids they have a lot of investment in it, and they and obviously my wife too. She's been there with me for a good part of my playing career, and now in all my coaching career. So it's special for all of us.
To be able to do it here, where you were for the vast majority of your career, where you built your life,
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that makes it really special. I mean, this organization means a lot to me, and whatever I was able to give as a player, I gave. Whatever I'm able to give as a coach now, I'm giving, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully that can just continue to go forward.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, playoff game number 2, pretty good game number 1. What is it about these moments for you that you enjoy so much? Because we see you on the sideline just hyping up your guys while you're performing.
I think it's a combination of just, I love being in the arena. I love the highest level of football, competing at the highest level against the best players. And, I think that's how the true character of a person, a player, comes to light. And you never know when your moments and opportunities are going to come, and you have to cherish these moments when you get these opportunities, because they're not given in this league. Like, that was only my second playoff game in 6 years, So each year is not a given. So I've really just had the mindset of being extremely present in the moment, enjoying it, but also trying to be everything that I can for myself and my teammates. And as much when I am like with the ball than I am without the ball, if that makes sense. So as effective as I am, I know I can get myself going. I know I can mentally be right for a game and be competitive, but I want everybody else to feel that confidence. I want everybody else to believe in themselves in that way. And, I've learned over the course of time, my play and sometimes the words that I say kind of have an effect on guys around me. And I'm not really the biggest rah-rah guy, but I just always want to make sure that, the task at hand is clear to everybody, what we need to get done, making sure there's no fear and anxiety going into whatever opportunity we have that's facing us, because you're prepared for this moment. This is everything that you wanted since you were a kid, to be playing on this stage with a great group of guys, you know what I mean? And this team is unbelievable to be a part of. And so anytime I could spread positivity or breathe life into my teammates, I'm going to do that. And anytime I get to try to make a play, I'm excited to do that. This is what I love to do, honestly. I can't thank God enough to be able to be in this position, living my dream, and play with such a great group of men.
Terry, what are the challenges and opportunities facing a defensive coordinator as aggressive as Aaron Glenn?
Yeah, obviously they play a lot of man coverage, and they trust their corners and their DBs to play on islands if need be. And I think they've had success throughout the season doing that. I think their secondary is between, all the guys that they have, they've all made plays in different spots in the year. And Amik, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, all of them, they bring a type of swagger and attitude to their defense. And you can tell they like the challenge of being able to shut down the passing attack. And I'm looking forward to the challenge of going against those guys, and not just myself, but our entire pass game and receiving core, because when you get man-to-man opportunities, that gives you opportunities to make plays down the field. It gives you a chance to have run after catch because if you beat your guy, there's a chance to have a big play. And so I've just really been trying to lock in on my film study, being ready for whoever I go against. Both Arnold and Amik, they both, one plays boundary, one plays field. Amik follows, so I just got to be prepared for whoever's out there going against me and trust my technique and be ready to make plays for Jaden. That's contested catches, that's separating against man and making the big plays. And, I have a lot of respect for Coach Glenn, and you can tell he has the respect of those guys because they play so hard for him and they believe in his stylistic of play calling. And so we know we're going to be challenged in this game to make plays down the field, and we got to be ready for our one-on-one opportunities. But as a receiver, you look forward to matchups when you know you're going to get man coverage because you have a chance to really make some plays. So we know it's not going to be easy. They're very physical, and we got to be ready for that.
Terry, if I would have told you in August,
Yeah.
this team would be one win away from playing in the NFC Championship game, what would you have told me?
To be honest, I don't know what I would have told you. I honestly would have. First of all, I would have taken that. I would have taken that opportunity to be in this position because it doesn't come around often. But also, I wouldn't have been able to contemplate or really process how we've gotten here and the journey that we've all been on to get to this space, especially with so many new faces. It's to be honest, it's rare to have a situation where things turn around just like that in a year. And I think it's a testament to, again, the people that we have in this building, from our ownership group to AP and DQ to their leadership in the way that they instill confidence in us as players, bringing in the right guys, guys who've won around the league. And obviously, having Jaden here and his maturation process has been unbelievable. And just the way we've galvanized together throughout the course of the season, some big signature wins, even the adversity we went through losing 3 games, that's all part of the story of this team. And it's exciting to be a part of the next chapter in this journey and to have a chance to go in a hostile environment against one of the best football teams in the league. And they've shown that throughout the entire season. They're tough. They make plays down the field. They have playmakers, and we're excited for that. It feels good to be a part of a group where you go into a game confident that you have a chance to win because of your preparation, because of your brotherhood, and because you know that you've put on tape multiple times. So when the going gets tough, we rise to the occasion. And we know that's not going to be easy, so it's not a given, but to have that confidence going into the game is huge. So all that culminating, if I knew all those details, I would take that 10 times out of 10 because this is what you prepare so hard in the offseason for, and this is the vision that each team tries to put out in front of their players, but it's a different outcome for a lot of teams because the process of the season is so long, and you have to be able to put it all together and fight through adversity to get to this space. So we're excited for the opportunity for sure.
Cliff says he's hiding his gray hair because of all the late finishes.
Yeah.
What do you go through besides you're ready and prepared? What is your heart rate like at the end of a game when you have to have it?
To be honest, it's gotten more and more calm. You know what I mean? Because you get in these situations. I think the first few times we've had gotta have it situations, everybody may be a little bit on edge because you just want to make the perfect play. You just want everything to go right. And what we've noticed, everything's not going to be perfect, but the thing that we have to control is being very sound and disciplined in our execution. And I think just the preparation going into each and every week, DQ and Dave Gardy have done a great job of just laying out opportunities for us to get better in practice and attack these opportunities. So when we come into the game, they're situations that we're ready for, and they're situations that don't catch us off guard. And then when you get into the game, you have success time and time again. It gives you confidence, just like Sunday, like I said, to our alignment, we get into the huddle. I looked at them and I'm like, we're not going to give this ball back. We're going to win this game. And that's the confidence that I had in our group because of what we had shown up into that point. And I just know if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot and we execute at a high level, we're going to give ourselves a chance to win the game. And that's one of the hardest things in football to do, to consistently time in and time out have success in winning time moments. And for us to have a fast start last week was really big for us. and putting that together, along with hopefully creating some more turnovers and continue playing complementary football, is what's going to give us a chance to win this game. So we're fired up for the opportunity to go into a really loud environment for everything we want that's still ahead of us. But the trust we have in one another continues to grow because of what we've done up into this season. And it don't mean nothing if you don't do it again Sunday. So that's the great thing about it. But there's no fear and anxiety now. We've proven to ourselves that we could do it time and time again. We've proven to ourselves that we could play with the best teams in the league. So it's about going out there and doing it again on Sunday. And, we have a lot of respect for that team. And we're going to bring our best as well.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, appreciate it.
He's going to be that guy. He's going to be where he's supposed to be every time. And so that is a comfort for me. For you, what does that say to you?
I mean, it means the world to me. Obviously, to have my number called in very important situations is something I take a lot of pride in, something I've taken a lot of pride in my entire career. To be the guy when the game's on the line or the season's on the line, that they want to come to me. And I think it's something that I take a lot of pride in. It's not something that happens only during the season. It's the work you put in all year, 365 days. I view this as something that I give everything I have to be at my best when my best is needed. And I got to go out there and make plays, and this week isn't just another week for me to go out there and do it, but it is a big time honor.
You've done deep playoff runs before. Do you try to say something to guys that maybe haven't been through that, or is the entire approach just another game?
Yeah, the approach is it is another game. Still, the goal is to score one more point than the other team. It doesn't matter how it looks. Once you play in one, I really feel like the mentality just carries over to the next week. Not much needs to be said. We got a mature group, even though we got a lot of guys that haven't necessarily had a ton of playoff games under their belt. The group is very mature in how they approach the game, how they exhaust the process. And for me, that's been one of the most fun things about being here is a lot of guys that love the game. They love going to work every day. They love exhausting themselves and being their best each and every week. And so for me, that's why I've loved being here from the moment I got here, is because of the group of guys we have, the maturity we have, and so nothing really needs to be said.
Jack, one of the guys, Jaden Daniels, when's the last time that he did something that surprised you?
In terms of his football, I mean, I guess the surprising thing to me is that he's still, no matter if you just had a camera shot on him on the sidelines, you couldn't tell if you're up 20 or down 20. And just his composure, his poise, no matter how the game's going, we feel if we get one more shot, we're going to be able to find a way to win the football game. And so for me, nothing really has surprised me because he's been the same guy from the moment he got here. He's just a guy that you love playing with, playing for, guy that is obviously a stud as a player, but his composure really rubs off on the team, and I think you guys can see that in just the amount of the confidence we have in him and how good he is. But it's really just something that we've seen since the moment he got here.
In your experience in these big playoff games, is it usually the team that makes the big play or the big mistake that kind of decides these big games?
I mean, it's all about execution at the end of the day. And for us, it's about not turning the ball over and forcing as many turnovers as we can, because last week in the playoffs, the teams that won the turnover battle were 4-0. So that's not lost on us. Obviously, on offense, that means we got to do our part taking care of the football. But the games are always going to come down to who can make the most plays at the end. They're going to be very close games. They're going to be tight games. It's about who can execute when the game's on the line. And we got a lot of confidence in all three phases, but it doesn't mean anything. We got to go out there and prove it this week. And this is the best time of year to be playing football. This is why you train so hard. This is why you practice so hard for games like this.
What are the challenges and the opportunities of facing an aggressive defense like this?
I mean, this team is extremely well coached in all three phases. They have a history. They were there in the NFC Championship game last year. Aaron Glennon is probably one of the best coaches in the league, just maximizing his players. You know, they've gone through a lot of guys defensively, but the standards for them are very clear in how they play. That they're going to run to the ball. They're going to play man coverage. It doesn't matter if you get beat once; they're coming right back to it again. So for them, it's a play style, the way they play defense, and I think it's a testament to how they're coached.
Hey, Zach, could you talk a little bit about this receiver that has stepped up big in the last 4 or 5 games? Brown, Diami, Ozzy, and all of those guys who have really stepped up and made key plays.
I mean, everyone knows what Terry brings. Obviously, he's one of the best receivers in the league. But the way the receiver group has grown over this past 8 games, really the second half of the season, has been phenomenal. Ozzy, Diami, Jameson, These guys have just made a lot of football plays, and they're being used to their strengths. We're not asking them to go out there and do anything that they're not extremely confident in. We're using them to their strengths, and when you're using people to their strengths, it's going to continue to build confidence in them. So Cliff and the coaching staff has done a great job of just maximizing these guys and everything that they're asked to do. And it's not just them; it's really our entire offensive skill group. They're not asking guys to do things that they're not good at or not confident in. I think it's a testament to great coaching.
As good as Terry has been, he said this is last week was only his second playoff game. Yet watching him on the sideline after making play after play, he's still hyping up all of you guys.
Yeah.
What does that mean to when you watch that?
Yeah, Terry, I mean, as a receiver, that's rare in this league, unfortunately. Receivers and tight ends, to a certain extent, oftentimes are measured in statistics. But Terry's value goes far beyond what he's able to do from on the stat sheet. The way he brings energy, how selfless he is. He's another guy you really can't tell during the game if he has 1 catch or 10 catches. And it's a testament to a phenomenal player, a phenomenal person. And he knows what this place has been like for a long time. Obviously, not all of us can say that. But to him, just to continue to put his head down, work hard, that's the guy you want to build around.
Every year, it's tough to get into the playoffs. Obviously, I've been fortunate in my career, but getting a chance to do it here in a more substantial role has been a lot of fun. Really excited about just the energy around the building all year, and then especially as you get to playoffs. You know, just trying to keep everything the same, not doing anything. Obviously, you're doing some special things, but not doing anything different, anything that you haven't done all year. You just gotta prepare the same way, get your body right, get your mind right, and then get out there and cut it loose.
Let me ask you this. In your experience in these playoff games, is it usually the team that makes the big play or the big mistake that ends up being the deciding factor?
That's a great question. I don't know if it's necessarily either of those. It's probably a combination. Because I mean, there's really very few games you're going to go throughout without making a mistake. Again, and the players are probably going to make a couple big plays as well. So it's really what type of complementary football are you playing when those big plays happen, and then how do you respond to the mistakes? So I think it's a good balance of those.
Cliff says he keeps his fade high and tight because there's a lot of gray hair that's coming up with these last-second finishes. What goes through you guys? I know you have to execute, but what goes through you?
I mean, we have a ton of confidence in the players that are around us, the coaches, and then just the way that we've prepared for these end-of-game situations. We know exactly what to expect. You still have to go out and execute it, but situationally, nothing so far has been a surprise. They've hit us with every situation, so we know, one, what to expect, and then two, what to expect out of the coaches in terms of play calling, with the 4th downs that we've been going for, and just so when you're on the field, if there's ever a situation, you're going to go for 2, you're going to go for it on 4th down. You don't want to be surprised. You don't want to be jogging off the field and then have them turn you around. I feel like those situations are you'd rather be on the field, have them pull you off. So I think just having a good understanding of what our plan is has been beneficial.
Nick, what's the key to handling a difficult environment like Ford Field probably will be on Saturday?
I mean, it's been we've done a good job this year working on the silent cadence. We've had plenty of road games where we've worked on that, and we've got that down pretty well now. So being good with that, and then good with communication, and then I think I may have spoke on this a little last week, is when you are on the same page, the communication's easier because you kind of expect to hear certain things from the guy next to you. So even if you don't hear him, you may read his lips, or you hear a little bit of it, and you kind of use schema to understand what he was saying there. So when everyone's on the same page, I think the communication's a little easier.
Cliff also said that one of the biggest reasons you guys continue to stick with the run is DQ kind of tells him to. Have you ever noticed that? Has Dan ever talked to you guys out on the line? And how important is it, obviously, for you guys that whether it's a big YPC or not, you guys, you're going to get those carries in?
Yeah, I mean, he's never necessarily addressed that with us, how much we're going to run the ball or anything like that. Obviously, we know, he's talking with Cliff and, making sure that they're on the same page. But we know running the ball is important. Sometimes there's games he comes over to us and, asks for maybe if we're, needs us to be a little bit more physical or something like that, which kind of blends in with the run game. So never really directly, but, having a run game in this league is important. I think it's been really cool to see that transition probably over the last 10 years, where it became just a run and gun league for a little bit. People are just slinging the ball downfield, and then they realize that you need to have a run game. You have to have balance. So like I saw last week, the Bucks do a pretty good job throwing up a bunch of full season stats, and I think we had one more pass than run all season. So I mean, it was almost dead on 50-50, which is pretty cool.
Do you feel like you maybe kind of lived that in KC from Tyreek to what that Chiefs offense kind of became?
Absolutely, yeah. You go back and watch the 2018 offense, and it was 5-man protection, ripping the ball downfield. I mean, you had so much talent on that field, on the edges, that it made sense. And then a lot of teams started sitting back, getting rid of the deep ball, and forcing us to run the ball. So you then develop that run game, and once you can run the ball on them and they have to respect that, it opens up everything.